Hi everyone, thanks for joining. The next few videos prepare you for the 4Blinks version of Flash processing groups that you either may already be signed up for or may be about to sign up for. The first of these videos talks about containment, and the reason containing is important in Flash is that we are checking the memory. Eventually, when we get there, we'll be checking the memory very, very quickly. And whatever the distress that we find, that you see or you notice in that memory, you're going to catch it, contain it, and push it out of awareness. So this is very different than how we're used to doing trauma, and you may need to practice this. So we are not sitting with distress. So if you are having any significant distress in Flash, more than about a 2 out of 10 difficulty, we need to stop and deal with that difficulty. One of the things that helps with this is to be able to, almost like with a catcher's mitt, we're going to be here waiting, we're going to glance at that memory, whatever comes, we're going to catch it, contain it, and push it out of our awareness. The reason we push it out of our awareness is that we need all of our awareness to be available to our calm scene, which we're going to develop next. So many things that we're going to container may be important. They may have been, really important survival strategies. You may have all kinds of things, feelings, thoughts, emotions attached to whatever you're containing. We're not containing it because it's bad. We're containing it because whatever is distressing, that's the piece of the memory we're working on, but we're working on it while it's in the container and without it being in our direct focus. So we need to develop a container in order for the difficult stuff to go into. So the container can be a safe, a vault, a chest, a big, big ceramic cookie jar. It can be anything that can hold stuff. The container can even be the drive-through teller has those little clear things that you open and put in and push the button and it goes into the it goes into the bank. So that can be a container. A mail slot can be a container. A vacuum, as we'll see, can be a container for stuff in the body. That's going to be the fourth resource that we're going to talk and teach. I'll give you a moment to think about what kind of container would be helpful. And I generally find that it's not a great idea to use containers from your childhood, right? That you had in your childhood room. Think about a container that would work, that can be empty, come into awareness empty, whose door can open and close or whose lid can open and close. Think about a container. Pause the video if you need to. Okay, good. Just spin that container around in your awareness. Notice what it's made of. Okay, good. If that container has a lid, or a door, notice how it closes. Does it make a noise when it closes? Notice that. If that's working, just soak that up. Good. So right now, we're not putting anything difficult in that container, but I want you to imagine, see if you can open the door on that container. See if you can imagine a little slip of paper or a business card or something that doesn't have any strong value attached to it. Go into that container. See the container door close. Good. Now I invite you to kind of take a little step back, and does it feel like that piece of paper or whatever it is that you just put in there is in there? If it doesn't, open the door and see in your imagination. And if that doesn't work, try it again and really try to, with your imagination, try to see that slip of paper go into that container. Good. Good. If it feels like it's in there, okay, now let's imagine your container and then push it out of awareness. Just see it zoom, zoom, zoom far away until it is a tiny dot on the horizon. See if you can visualize that. Good. Excellent. The container that we're going to use will be a completely empty container each time we need it. So let's imagine really quickly a huge warehouse filled to the ceiling with these empty containers ready to just come into awareness when we need it. And when it comes into awareness, door open, whatever it is that's distressing, we're going to catch it, contain it, put it in the container and push it out of awareness. Good. So now let's imagine a whole warehouse filled with your containers, thousands and thousands of them, completely empty, and each one just ready to come one at a time when needed. So we'll use the container 30 to 40 times in an average flash session. So we need a brand new empty container to come each time. Whatever's distressing, we're going to put in it. We're going to close the door. We're going to push it out of awareness. And when it's gone, we're going to go into our calm scene, which we're going to develop next. So before we go forward, check and make sure that your container works as a visualization exercise. If not, I'm going to develop videos to where we can try to make the container a little bit more concrete for those of you that struggle to visualize. So also, if your container's not working, don't just go forward. These resources form the walls, right? They're almost the walls of the pump that we are going to be pumping trauma through. So if you don't have a working wall, you may not be able to do this work safely. Don't go forward if this resource isn't working for you or you aren't able to find a way to do it using appropriate accommodations and adjustments.